Breaking news. Ghislaine Maxwell secretly shipped overnight to a prison in Texas, a federal prison camp. Bryan, Texas. Ghislaine Maxwell, you know who she is, serving a 20-year federal prison sentence involved with the Jeffrey Epstein scandal and crimes. She's going to testify in front of Congress August 11th. But in a shocking move overnight, she went from a federal prison in Florida to Texas. Whoa, what in the world is going on here? She is in a prison camp known as Camp Cupcake. No bars, folks, dormitories. It's like a college. Whoa, I'm going to share some information about where she's at, the conditions, and then we will further discuss. Check it out.
Up on your screen right now, this post from the New York Post. We are learning the U.S. Bureau of Prisons saying today that Ghislaine Maxwell has been transferred from a Florida prison to a lower security facility in Texas to continue serving her 20-year sentence for helping sex offender Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse underage girls. Maxwell's move from FCI Tallahassee, a low security prison, to the federal prison camp in Bryan, Texas, comes a week after she met with Deputy U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche, who said he wanted to speak with her about anyone else who may have been involved in Epstein's crimes. Now, this also comes after President Trump said a bit earlier this week on Tuesday that Jeffrey Epstein, quote, stole young women who worked for the spa at Mar-a-Lago. One of those women, he said, was Virginia Giuffre, who was among Epstein's most well-known sex trafficking accusers. Trump's comments expanded on remarks he had made a day earlier when he had said he had banned Epstein from his private club in Florida 2 decades ago because his one-time friend, quote, stole people that worked for me. At the time, he did not make clear who those workers were. President Trump has faced some scrutiny over his administration's refusal to release more records about Epstein after promises of transparency. Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's imprisoned former girlfriend, was recently interviewed inside a Florida courthouse by Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, as I just shared with you a few moments ago. However, officials have not publicly disclosed what she said. Her lawyers said earlier this week on Tuesday that she's willing to answer more questions from Congress if she is granted immunity from future prosecution for her testimony and if lawmakers agree to satisfy other conditions. If you are just joining us here on Live Now from Fox, I did just want to quickly recap for you this breaking news that we are following at this moment here. Once again, we are learning the U.S. Bureau of Prisons saying today that Ghislaine Maxwell has been transferred from a Florida prison to a lower security facility in Texas to continue serving her 20-year sentence for helping sex offender Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
All right, new bombshell report out by the New York Post. Ghislaine Maxwell is quietly moved to a cushy new Texas prison as she pushes for deal to tell all on Epstein, his associates. Ghislaine Maxwell has quietly been moved to a far more favorable Texas prison camp as she hashes out a possible deal to divulge secrets about her sex crimes accomplice, Jeffrey Epstein. The 63-year-old convicted child sex trafficker was transferred from a lockup in Florida to a less restrictive prison camp in Bryan, Texas. The Federal Bureau of Prisons told the Post on Friday without giving a reason for the move. Maxwell's lawyer, David Marcus, also declined to elaborate, saying, "We can confirm that she was moved, but we have no comment." Her unexpected move from Federal Correctional Institution Tallahassee was handled directly by BOP officials rather than U.S. Marshals, according to the New York Sun, which said it included a brief stopover in FCI Oakdale, Louisiana. In her new minimum security Texas prison camp, she'll be around nonviolent criminals, and open movement there. Let me explain a little bit more about the open movement and what she could do there. Now, why would they do that? I think they went to her and said, what can we do to make your prison life better? in reference to her giving information in return, because she met with prosecutors last week. And I'm sure she said, get me in a better place. Sure. Because her type of crimes and her type of sentence, no one goes to a camp. No one goes to a federal prison camp. It is minimal security. They call it Camp Cupcake. They're free to go. There's no fences there. It's wide open dormitories. It's night and day. Conditions are so much better in a camp than where she previously was, behind bars. What is going on here? Is that a stepping stone for her before she gets her sentence commuted? Maybe a pardon by Trump? She wants immunity when she testifies in front of Congress in a deposition about crimes, possibly name dropping. But this is interesting. I've never seen this. And you also heard in that report, the Bureau of Prisons bypassed U.S. Marshals. And they did it on their own initiative. Usually that transfer stuff goes through the Marshals. So why is she in Texas? And why did she get into this prison here? A camp, a federal prison camp. We're looking into this matter, and we'll also be covering what goes forward with this Jeffrey Epstein Maxwell case. Will she get out of prison? Will she get a reduced sentence? Or will she have to fulfill her whole sentence? Remains to be seen. Stay tuned on JLR Investigates. Sub to the channel, hit the notification button. We cover true crime 24/7, 365 on this channel. We'll talk soon. Stay tuned.